What's going on, guys? It's Troydan here. And today, we've got regular guys challenging NBA players. And it doesn't go well, as they instantly regret it. Of course it's not going to go well. Why would it go well? They were in the NBA for a reason. I have not seen this yet, but it is from Jimmy High Roller. Make sure to sub. He has the sweetest voice. Link in the description below. Make sure to sub 30 times. Haven't seen it? 3, 2, 1, go.
Have you ever watched an NBA game and thought to yourself, you know, under the right circumstances, if I maxed out all of my abilities and put all my efforts into this sport, I think I could play in the league. Regardless
Yes. No.
of how unrealistic this is, I'm sure we've all had this thought before. We all love the game and we'd all love to play it at the highest level. But for 99.9% of us, this dream will forever remain just that, a dream. Because the gap between most of us and an NBA player is massive. In fact, it could be difficult to understand just how much better the average NBA player is compared to the average Joe. Luckily for us, every once in a while an NBA player will take the time to show us just how much better they really are.
Where do you put yourself on this? I think I'm in the middle. What's the middle? Division 3? That's good? I'm Division 3.
A few weeks ago, a high school basketball player challenged Brian Scalabrine, former NBA player and basketball GOAT, to a game of one-on-one. The kid was confident, so confident that he even bet his own shoes on the game.
Really?
Now,
why would you do that?
This kid looks to be a solid 6'2", 6'3", with some good skill and athleticism. Probably better than the average high school hooper. On the other hand, Scalabrine is a 43-year-old who's been retired for nearly a decade. But there's levels to this.
Yeah,
so
there sure
on the first
is.
possession, the high schooler tries to create space with a little hezzy pull-up and gets stuffed. At this point, the game was already over.
I mean, he's not that old. He's 43. I mean, sure, he can't compete against the best in the world anymore, but he's still damn good. You don't forget how to shoot.
After what probably felt like the longest 5 minutes of the kid's life, Brian Scalabrine beat the high schooler 11-0. It wasn't even close. Now, I'm sure there's some clips of the kid getting more shots up on Brian, but his friends decided to only include the clips of Brian torching him.
Dude.
Now, Scal could have easily used his size on every possession, but
yeah.
to really make an example out of the young buck, he got into his bag instead. This isn't even fair. Keep in mind, Brian is a relatively out-of-shape 43-year-old, 9 years
he
removed
ain't
from
out
the
of shape,
NBA.
you dinkers.
Brian wasn't even an average
Hold on, I
NBA
took offense to that. He ain't out of shape. He's 40 goddamn 3. Pretty good shape for 43.
player. No
Out of
offense to the
shape?
man, but when I tried to search up his stats on Basketball Reference, Brian was so low on the leaderboard that he didn't even come up. His name literally doesn't appear.
Oh, come on. He was the
instead,
Dude,
I
this
had
guy
to
was the MVP once, all
go
right?
over to the
Go look it
ESPN
up.
archives and dig through hundreds and hundreds of players until I finally found old Brian on the last page of
There's
the
no
league
search
leaderboard.
function?
Out of 479 players in the NBA
There
that
he is.
season, Brian ranked 464th.
That's not bad.
464th.
Look who's below him. Larry
In
Hughes,
fact,
Ben
in
Wallace.
Brian's last season in the NBA, he scored just 32 points. In the season before, he scored just 20. And
how
in the
did he
season
play?
before that, he scored 78.
Oh, shit.
In fact, Brian scored less points in his entire 11-year NBA career than James Harden scored last season in the first 45 games of the season. In Scal's last season in the NBA,
Why are you putting
he was
Scally
worse at
down?
scoring
What
the
did this
ball
turn
than
into?
97% of NBA players.
Is this the roast of
And here he
Scalabrine?
is, 9 years later, shooting hoops in his spare time and still absolutely smoking an above average hooper. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what I like to call perspective. It's something that you need in order to grasp exactly where you stand in the world of sports, and yet it's something that a lot of sports fans lack. We all know that one guy that swears he would have went to the league if he didn't get
That's Dwayne
injured
Wade?
or he
That's
got
Dwayne
more
Wade, right?
playing time, or if he was 6 inches taller. That's me saying that. I'm that one guy. But all jokes aside, sometimes
Wait.
we just need to get
mind,
walked by real NBA talent to know exactly how good these guys are. Like in 2017, when a 22-year-old Fred VanVleet went one-on-one against 2 other hoopers. Now, these other hoopers were far from average. One of them was Marcus Posley, a guard in the G League. The other hooper was Jordan Poole, who is now a contributing player on the Warriors, but at the time was an 18-year-old fresh out of high school as the 51st top prospect in the entire country. 2 elite basketball players, one a professional in the G League, the other a top high school recruit with 5 inches on VanVleet. Both of them far better than everyone at your local gym. Take a wild guess at how these one-on-ones went.
I bet you they went very well for Freddie Van Fleet. Drake about to drop some dimes on him. Wee! Dude, Freddie Van Fleet good. And yeah, he's playing talented people. I mean, Jordan Poole. He's definitely not the best NBA player, but he would torch everyone else. Torch anyone else outside the league. Torch me, obviously. People, never mind.
It went pretty much exactly how you would expect. Van Vliet, going half speed, was still on another level. Just look at how easy he gets to his spots. Getting up shots like the defender isn't even there. In a King's Court format, Poole finished with 3, Posley finished with 7, and Van Vliet finished with 19, and didn't even break a sweat in the process. Look at this bucket here. Come on, dog. This man literally isn't even trying. Today, most fans know Van Vliet as a killer point guard with a championship and a 54-point performance under his belt.
And a man looks
but
like
back
Drake.
in 2017, Fred was hardly a rotational guy for the Raptors, averaging just 8 minutes and 3 points per game.
Isn't he
This guy
starting now?
is 6 feet tall on a good day, can hardly get playing time in the league, and here he is completely sleepwalking through 2 elite basketball talents like it's nothing. Perspective. And I would like to say that for the most part, NBA players don't even give us average Joes the time of day. Only once in a blue moon do they bring their busy days to a halt to show some washed up hack just how delusional he is. But far more often, these pros don't even listen to the chatter. Well, all of them but Scalabrine. Brian doesn't just listen to us average Joes, he makes a show about it and proceeds to embarrass our fellow average brethren for the world to see.
Really?
Seriously. This was a real thing.
This guy's got his own show?
This actually happened. In 2013, on a show called The Scallenge, which is pretty much the greatest name for a show in the history of shows, Brian Scalabrine didn't just play random guys one-on-one and take their shoes. This man handpicked contestants via video submissions, brought them onto his own show, created apparel and merchandise for the show, and even had his own sideline crew to call the action. This
I need to get on the show.
Absolute peak, all-time pettiness from Scal. And I love it. Imagine sending a video to a former NBA player, calling him out on his game and saying you could beat him, and probably assuming you won't actually get picked. And then next thing you know, you're suited up in a gym checking the ball up to a 6'8" NBA champion. Now, some of these video submissions were complete satire, but for every guy trying to crack some jokes, there was a hooper who actually felt like he had a chance against Scal. The 3 contestants he chose were Matt Tomaszewski, Rich Morantis, and Jake Fay. Now, Mr. Tomaszewski wasn't your average hooper. Matt was a 6'8" forward who started at Syracuse just a year before this one-on-one. The second challenger, Rich, was actually a really good hooper back in his day, a former D2 player and also a former pro in Australia. The last challenger, Jake Fay, well, Jake is the epitome of an average player who had nothing but what I assume are a few rec league trophies in
a Twitter warrior. He's a Twitter
submitted
fingers.
Video that he literally did drills around. 3 challengers, 1 Scalabrine, and a 0% probability that anyone stood a chance.
Matt Tomaszewski, a graduate of Syracuse where he played basketball. Rich, it's a good size matchup.
I'd like to see Zion do this.
In physical appearance.
I watched
I'd like to see
warm-ups.
LeBron.
He can hit threes all day, but the question
Or
is, does he
Shaq,
have the
maybe, I don't know.
speed? Does he have the quickness to take on the Vanilla Godzilla?
Elbows
Oh,
up.
how about that?
Vanilla
And-
Godzilla.
Oh, how about that?
Positioning.
Ooh.
Big. That's a nice spin
He scored
move,
once
and
on him?
he's
Goes back for the
easy.
3. Oh,
Ooh,
red.
not there.
Oh,
It's an interesting
Maybe
strategy.
Donjay could play
Hey,
Scally.
what a
How do you think
contest.
Donjay would do?
seriously?
Scored 3 points.
Well, that went about as terrible as I thought it would. Let's see how Jake
To be honest, he scored more than I thought he would.
Where I'm from, I'm called the Great White Hope.
Because I wear hoop uniforms.
There ain't gonna be no hope.
Oh, this guy's gonna suck.
That guy says the
okay,
N-word.
Well, that's not bad.
I can tell you right now.
Decent.
Wow.
He can
I
dunk.
think this guy might be a keeper.
And he got his trophies
All
out.
around the trophies.
Yeah.
What are the
Scal, what do you
trophies?
think?
No, it's decent. Good athlete. It's a guy, we're gonna pick this guy. I like it. Make sure you bring your trophies. This is the guy we want.
No, he didn't. He got fouled.
Jake. Oh, that's
I don't think he's
just
gonna score a
embarrassing.
point. Yo, Scally trying, man. He's shoving out here.
Ooh, la.
There you go. Go for the dunk, baby. Go!
Fade
Fadeaway
away.
jumper, it's
Oh,
in,
and
and
it's
When did this
cut,
come out?
but
Scal
as
looks
he
in good
predicted,
shape, like
as he
really good
wanted,
shape
Brian
here.
Scalabrine takes out Jake Fay.
Yep, pretty much what I thought. Rich, let's see what you can do.
As much as I would have to guard him, he'd have to guard me.
True.
So you have chosen death.
That was easy. It was easy. It was easy. That was easy. That was easy. I don't think he ain't scoring, is he? He is not scoring a point. Oh no. Oh, dirty. Greasy.
You walk away with a shutout.
Ay, ay, ay.
Well, I missed that first shot I should have made. And after that, I just couldn't get the shot going. Really, it's kind of where it is.
Okay, that was terrible. Breaking news. NBA players, even old, washed up, retired ones, are way, way, way better than any of us.
Yo, stop calling them washed
and I would
up,
like to
dude.
say that after torching these 3 contestants, everyone's ego came back down to earth. But no. Instead, and I'm not joking when I say this, the sideline crew decided to get in on the action and challenge Brian to a game of 3-on-1.
3-on-1.
Sideline crew.
3-on-1?
Yes. 3 below-average middle-aged men versus 1 former NBA player. Based on what you've seen so far, how exactly do y'all think this went down?
I don't. They're gonna have trouble defending him, but if they can get the ball, man. Oh, here they go. Got it. What are they doing? Okay, come on. You gotta get 1. You got 3 people. You can just give it to the open dude. Someone's gonna make it. They need to set up a wall. They need to set up like they need to hold hands and make a giant wall and hope for a charge. But they scored. They scored 1 point. They scored 1 point. What? They scored a point.
Oh boy. I mean, I would really like to say that these guys put up a decent fight. But yeah. This is what happens when average Joes try to go against an NBA player. In fact, This is what happens when an average hooper, a former D1 player, and even a former overseas guy go against an NBA player. In the off chance that you ever get to actually play an elite talent on this level, it's just not gonna go well for you. So shout out to Brian, Fred, and any other NBA player who has taken time to scorch the normal guys, for giving us perspective that we desperately need but often refuse to accept. Let me know in the comments below. And be honest, how well do you think you would do in a game?
Okay, how well would I do against Scally? You know, if the score is to 100, I think I could score maybe once or twice. I don't know. I like to drive, and I don't think I can drive against a man of that size. It's just not going to work. In fact, I haven't touched a basketball in quite a while. It's probably not a good idea. Guys, how would you do? Why didn't they show Kobe beating that guy? There were some other ones. I know I've seen NBA players take on regular guys. I remember like Lost and Unbound used to do it. I'm not sure if that was real, but there was other ones. There were other. There's also a guy that took on Michael Jordan and beat him. I remember watching that way back. Either way, don't challenge Scally. Guys, if you got a video like for me to watch or react to, you can tweet me at Troydan under the hashtag TroydanReacts. Thank you for watching, and kids, stay away from Scalabrini and EDP.